so great to meet you both. This show is both intense and it really kind of like plays with your emotions, but it's really relatable too. Why do you both think it's important to have shows like Beef today?
Because it's just all encompassing.
Yeah.
And I think shows like Beef really kind of set a template and a precedent for future filmmakers, writers, and producers to really kind of um, test themselves, experiment, and really kind of push the bar in terms of what can be expressed within our community. And so, yeah.
Yeah. I think the show speaks volumes to the human condition and how irrational the world can get and how irrational it can seem. Um, and yet there's a lot of empathy that gets generated throughout the show, despite the chaos and despite everybody's flaws, and it's very humanizing. And I think when people see it, they'll recognize a bit of themselves in it, regardless of whether or not they share the same culture or background.
I completely agree. And are there any characters that you both found admire? Are there any, sorry, are there any traits that you both found that you admired from your characters that you played?
Yeah, George just really has this childlike love for the things that he loves when it comes to his art and his family, and so it was nice to just live in that playful space and just be innocent with how affectionate you are in that way. And so I just really had a fun time. And I think me personally, I think I'm a little bit more reserved and self-critical and judgmental sometimes. And so it was nice to just kind of drop all that and just to be playful.
I love that Paul is in his own world and has these big dreams of becoming a crypto millionaire with his boys, and having that kind of blissfully ignorant view that the world is his oyster, because the longer you live, that kind of gets sucked out of you and destroyed when you face the harsh reality.
And piggybacking off of that, with being in the industry and being in such a life where everything is kind of coming at you fast, what do you both do to kind of like keep your mental health in check and just to keep being happy and going on with life in a positive note?
Mm. I just go on walks. I go on hikes with my dog and really just do anything active to really get out of my own head. And I think the best way to do that is in a way, I'm going to sound like George, but to connect with nature.
Yeah, I think nature is very healing, um, and herbs are great.
I know what you mean. I think I've one more. What do you guys want the viewers to take away from Beef?
I'm sorry, can you say that again?
What would you guys want the viewers to take away after they watch Beef?
Well, if anyone has a younger brother that never leaves his room and is always on his computer, lost in VR chat or playing some kind of FPS or MOBA, to not judge that person with such scrutiny, and realize that that's another form of escapism and expression too, and that yeah, like they're just as human as everyone else, and they're not just gremlins.
Yeah, I mean, if you watch the show with five of your friends, I hope that all five people come out with different ideas and thoughts about the show, and then yeah. So I don't think there's any one singular message that the show tries to get across. I think it's just showing you exactly what these lives are, and I think there's enough there. It leaves enough there for the audience to really kind of fill in those answers for themselves.
Thank you so much, both. I really appreciate your time. It
Thank
was
Thank
you.
you.
great meeting you. Have a
Appreciate
great
it.
day.
Thanks.
Cut, please.
Now I was speaking to the other cast members. This show really kind of explores humanity and human emotions. How was it for you both channeling rage, pain, loneliness, and just creating the atmosphere in Beef?
Oof.
I would say because the dialogue is so like natural and honest, and because like I think Stephen and I both connect to those emotions and experience them
Mm.
uh, in real life,
Mm.
that it I mean, I guess I should just speak for myself. It wasn't that hard because, that's what it is. You just say these words that feel, and if you connect to them, it shouldn't be that hard to perform them.
It felt like life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Definitely. And going back to the show, exploring humanity and things we kind of deal with on a day-to-day, did you guys bring in any of your personal experiences, or have you ever dealt with something, obviously not like crazy similar, but something that we see in the show?
I mean, I've never taken it to this extreme, but I certainly wish I could be someone else. I've certainly had envy. I've certainly, had anger, maybe misdirected at a person when it was really about my own situation. And I think, that's the thing that I think was so great about what Sunny created, and like we all kind of came together to collaborate, was just like an honest space where I felt like we got to like the real human experience of living in now. And maybe forever, I don't know. Yeah.
And I think it's like we almost all deal with, like, we could be in that situation, and it's like we expect that other person on the receiving end to know what we're going through, but it's like it's not the case, and it's like depending on how you respond and how you go about it. And we're seeing like this is kind of like the what if, and if we actually stepped in and took that. So have you guys learned anything from being a part of Beef?
Well, certainly now, I mean, I was telling someone the other day that, like, I took this spot, but somebody else coming down on the opposite side of the street had pulled into the driveway in front of me to try to take that same spot, and they looked at me with an angry face once they realized that I had taken that spot that they had wanted, but I was waiting for that spot. And I was like, oh my God, like, don't, and then in my head I was like, do not let this escalate, and if this escalates, I'm not gonna fight back, I'm just gonna pull out and pay $20 to valet. Even though I really worked hard and circled a lot for this spot, it is not worth it.
Oh my God, you just gotta go to Costco like one time.
Oh yeah, it's just you will experience the edge of human relations in that parking lot. Nothing is more real than that parking lot.
But it's also so like inviting too. Like it's like very real at Costco.
Oh, it doesn't get realer than that. Yeah.
Costco on a Sunday is just, it's not good. I'm never
Exactly.
It's not
but it's exciting.
Yeah,
you can't deny that it's exciting. Yeah.
It's exciting.
It's thrilling. You will live.
Yeah, you will live.
You know what
at
I mean?
Costco.
You
That's
won't
so
like
true.
feel nothing. You will feel something.
You'll come home like you just did a full workout.
Mm-hmm.
Totally.
That's all I had time for. Thank you guys so much. I hope to speak to you guys.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
And you both wonderful, by the way.
Thank you.